Hey, Bookie. Welcome to the Ratchet Temple. This is a review for Ready to Love, Season 10, Episode 1. We're in Dallas, Fort Worth. And since it's Episode 1, I'm gonna introduce everybody so you know who I'm talking about when I'm talking about them. Our first lovely lady is April. She is 41 years old and she's a pharmaceutical director. She's beautiful. She's fit, but I don't know. She might be too mature for some of these men. Speaking of maturity, baby, next we have LaRon, who is 31 in age and 25 in mind. Okay, he's a systems operation manager, whatever that means. It sounds more like he's a party promoter. He says he's in the club from Wednesday to Sunday. But he's looking for a good time. Okay, he is here for a good time, not a long time. But I digress. Let me get to the next single. Now we have the beautiful Mika at a stunning 36 years old. She is an esthetician, as you can probably tell by the glow, and she is a mommy of 2. Next we have Damonte. Damonte is 42 years old. Okay, I enunciated for a reason. Hold on to that. He is a fashion stylist, and he is very confident in himself and his ability to attract eyes in a room. And he's looking for somebody who can also be a showstopper with him. And then we meet Lil Will. Okay, there's a Will in the William. I'm just gonna call him Lil Will. He is 31 years old. He is a real estate developer, and Will says that he is Himothy. Okay, he is him, and of course the ladies want him because he got it going on. That's all I have to say about that. Next, Miss Alexis. Alexis is 32 years old. She's an operations director, and she said, I'm not too picky, y'all. Tall, short, round, brown, yellow. Just please have clean nails, like wash your hands and dress well. That's all we know about her for now. We'll learn more about Alexis in the rest of the episode. Dominique is a 35-year-old accountant and art curator. I love it. Come on, multifaceted. He wants a big family because his grandfather had 23 kids. Okay, let's leave that there. The next single is Glenn. And y'all, let's just have a moment of silence. We're having a moment of silence, y'all, because from the moment that Glenn is in his confessional, he is having a panic attack. The man is shaking in his boots, okay? I don't know if Glenn is married, if Glenn is deeply insecure, if Glenn didn't know that he had like camera shyness until he got in front of a camera, but the man is breaking down into pieces in front of our faces, baby. And Glenn doesn't even show up like throughout the rest of the episode. That's why we had a moment of silence for him here. Rest in peace, Glenn, in the Ready to Love hemisphere or globe, whatever. I wish you the best, baby, but damn, why did you apply for the show, my love? Anyway, we have the other Will, aka William, and he is a 37-year-old comedian that I have never heard of, so that tells us as much as we need to know. The last person who did show up was the lovely Koshia. She is 35 years old and she is a realtor. It is her goal to be a wife and a mother first. Her career comes second. She's giving very much Southern household sprinkle vibes, okay? So the gang's all here now. Let's get into the actual episode. So we start off with April and her little ostrich feathers. She's sitting on a bench. She's the first one at the house, and LaRon comes walking down the driveway. He picks up his champagne. You know, nice to meet you. Oh, you're cute. Thank you. But baby, the chemistry is not there. They want nothing to do with each other. It was giving very business casual. Mika shows up, and you know, her bubbly self with the body yada 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 girl. Mika's stacked. Honestly, every time she comes on the screen, I'm just like, damn. Sorry, I'm no better than a man. Anyway, she shows up, super bubbly, and LaRon is like, okay, now let me let out a little bit of the ratchet, okay? He's like, this champagne is cute, but I want some tequila. I want tequila. I'm ready to turn up. My man said that he turns up from Wednesday to Sunday. And this is why I said I think he's a party promoter. That's his life apparently. And that's why I said he's here for a good time, not a long time. LeBron says that he wants a good woman, but he just keeps looking in all the wrong places. I bet you are. Anyway, April cracked me up, child. She looked so disgusted with him talking about how much he wanted to party. I know she was crossing out that line in her head, like, okay, no to LaRon. DeMonte pulls up in his little sailor outfit, okay? It's so funny because he was popping his SHIT in the confessional, talking about how confident he is and how he knows he's a showstopper. And baby, Mika goes, you know what? When I saw DeMonte, the first thing that came to my mind was a nutcracker. I screamed. I was dead, immediately deceased. Take me to the king, baby. Woo. Anyway, Will, aka Lil Will, aka Himothy, he shows up and he is very attracted to Mika, but he's trying to play it cool. I don't know, he seems very unserious to me, like a bit immature, and I'm the prize focused. We shall see though. So William walks up to the table looking like a Teletubby, and he introduces himself, and DeMonte is like, damn, Barry White, like, can you take some of the bass out of your voice? William and April end up chatting. He tells her he's a comedian, and her immediate reaction is, you got to tell me something funny, make me laugh. And I don't know, like, he doesn't do it, and I feel like it's corny on both of their behalves. Like, I think it's kind of lame to be like, oh, you're a comedian, like, dance, monkey dance. But I also think, like, well, if you are a 37-year-old comedian and like this is your main livelihood and career, that's what you wanted to identify as, maybe you should be able to make somebody laugh. Like, have something in the back pocket, my guy. Anywho, Alexis and DeMonte are now having their little chat, and baby, Alexis looked at his outfit and said, oh, I see your brooch. Are you a barber? Oh my God. Y'all, they won't take their foots off of his neck. The fits are not fitting, DeMonte. The fits aren't fitting. Anyway, it's not much of a vibe. I don't know. It was kind of giving, very platonic. April and Dominique meet on the other hand, and April cannot contain herself. Okay, they walk over to a quiet little bench, and she just immediately starts filling him up all up in the arms and shoulders. And I said, ma'am, was there consent? Relax. In the confessional, she tells us that she really likes Dominique because he has this masculine energy. So I guess it just pulled it out of her, baby. They sit down and they have a cute little chat. I'm not necessarily seeing sparks fly, but Dominique came here to have some babies, okay? He said if God allows it, he wants 10 kids, and April quickly said, well, I'll talk to God. Those 10 kids will not be with me. Amen. Anywho, Tommy strolls up, and everybody gathers and claps. You know the drill. And he says, y'all, where is Glenn? And the camera flips to the Mercedes that was supposed to be dropping him off. He said, now hold on now. He in the back seat, baby. I'm having second thoughts. Okay, they make it all dramatic and drawn out, but eventually that car hits reverse and Glenn decides that he will not be ready to love. To be honest, I have mixed feelings about Glenn. Like, I'm happy that he decided not to waste his time or anybody else's time by not following through with it. But like, seeing how nervous he was in the confessional, seeing how like wishy-washy and indecisive he was in general about coming, like, it makes me feel like he's very unstable and insecure. And I think that Glenn perhaps has some work to do on himself. Granted, that's just my perception and opinion, but it definitely gave me the ick, y'all. Anywho, Tommy explains to the people who are there that this mixer is going to go a little bit different. So instead of all 20 singles meeting each other and mingling and deciding who they want to eliminate that night, there's going to be 2 groups of 10. They would only meet each other that day so they could really deeply foster some relationships. And then the people who make it past elimination would meet the other group the next day. I really like this idea. I like what Ready to Love is doing. They usually do bring something different like every season. It's usually so small and like insignificant that it doesn't make a difference. But this season, there were some really interesting changes. I like the direction they're going. Anywho, we flip to Zamante and he's like, okay, let me take some initiative. Let me go ahead and chat the ladies up. But my man has a lot of nothing behind his eyes. Okay. He's going on and on and on about his accolades and achievements in fashion, working with celebrities, being able to switch his style up. But I don't really see him ask any questions about the ladies. It seems like he's pretty self-centered, at least from what the cameras show. At one point, he starts talking about like how his tattoos mean a lot to him. I think he was talking to Alexis. And I was like, oh, okay, like we're going to get beyond the surface. And she goes, oh, well, what does that tattoo on your hand mean? He said, oh, I don't know. I don't even remember. Sir, goodbye. Goodbye. Walk away from me. Goodbye. So we cut now to Dominique and Koshia, and he is also taking stats on her ovaries and eggs. Yeah, Dominique is ready for this baby. He should have came on ready to conceive. Okay, he is ready to birth. Period. And they give us a little bit of a kid check just across the board. Different conversations being had. Mika and Will are talking about kids. Will wants them. Mika said, I already got 2, baby. I'm done. LaRon wants kids. He said that Mika doesn't want any. I think that might be a deal breaker for him. Alexis wants kids one day. And yeah, that is our baby survey. Anywho, Will and Alexis are now chatting, and Alexis and Will actually have a pretty cute chemistry. This was the first couple or pair that's sitting down talking where I was like, ooh, okay, what's going on here? Alexis discloses even that she has an autoimmune disease. Her body does not sweat properly, so her sweat glands have to be removed, and some days are harder than others, but she's a warrior. She's one of God's warriors, so she gets through it. Will was very touched by her openness, and even said in the confessional that he felt moved to pray for her. I was like, aw, that's cute. Then, for some reason, we get a scene of Tommy calling Glenn again and telling him on his voicemail that he is not ready to love. I said, be very for real right now, y'all. Obviously, the man isn't coming. This was very, very, very unnecessary. I don't know. That cracked me up. Anywho, Koshia and LaRon are getting cozy in the back of the house, and she asks, what brought you to Texas? And he's like, well, COVID, and I wanted to lower taxes, and I wanted a wife. What? Huh? Say it with your chest. I was not impressed, but I think that Koshia just heard the word wife, and she just lit up like a sunbeam. She said, ooh, you in the right place. Okay. I was like, all right, I guess. So that leads them to that actually is what led them around to the back, because when she asked him what brought him to Texas, he was actually butting in, it looked like, on her and Will's conversation. Ooh, so I guess she got up to leave Will to go chase LaRon down because he wants a wife, or so he said. I don't one bit believe that LaRon is looking for a wife right now. I think that he's just using code words to get what he wants on this show. I think that he knows that these are older women who are very serious. Unfortunately, as a theme is on this show, I think that they get very serious women who are intentional about creating lasting relationships, and men come on here as an opportunity to have some fun, date around, and potentially be famous, or even in some cases they're just doing their homie a favor. And if you know, you know. Anywho, Coco and LaRon are having their own private chat now, and she's just like, what do you want? What are you looking for? And he said, I want a turn-up buddy, more or less. He wants a turn-up buddy who wants to travel and drink and travel and turn up and drink and travel and turn up. And Koshia is very intrigued by this somehow. She's a very confusing woman to me. But yeah, she likes this somehow. And she even starts like leaning in on him out of nowhere. And she's like, oh, I'm reading your energy and I like to lean in on you because I see that you get guarded and I want you to open up. And she's just playing feminine mind games, which I love. Like, I am a fellow diabolical Virgo who loves playing with energy and body language and psychology, but I feel like Koshi is delusional. You're not supposed to play those games when you don't have a grip on reality yourself, babe. You know what I'm thinking too? I just don't get her infatuation with LaRon. I wonder if she has a type. Like, I wonder if he looks like her ex, or he just has the dad bod build that she likes. I don't know. Maybe the conversation was better off camera, but LaRon says that he will open up. We don't see it happen. Again, I just think he's saying what needs to be said to get what he wants to get. Anywho, Tommy comes back and gathers the peoples, and he says, y'all, Glenn ain't coming. Anywho, he tells them that they're going to play a game, though. They go inside the house and there's cute little props and it's a setup and everybody's sitting together just looking all black and beautiful. I'm like, ooh, this season really has me excited. I think that this is so cute. It's giving Love Island, but like not too much. I like it. I'm having a good time. So Tommy is going to read from a list of turn-ons and turn-offs, and the men have to guess which lady those particular traits belong to. They have cute little cowboy hats decorated with the ladies' names, so they hold up the names, and that's how they know who votes for who. Tommy also shares that the man who wins the game is going to be safe from elimination that night. So DeMonte straightens his suit up and sits up real tall because he's ready to put on his listening ears, okay? First clue. This woman is very athletic. She loves a man who loves sports, and she's even a certified referee. The answer was Alexis, and Dominique, Will, and LaRon got that correct. The next clue was that this woman does not mind dating a father as long as he is active in his children's lives. I know that's right. Mika was that answer, and Dominique sorry, y'all, my notes say Dominique, Will, and LaRon got it right. This next lady likes to make her date pray for the food so she can see how comfortable he is with his relationship with God. The answer was Koshia, and Dominique and LaRon got that right. We do a quick little lightning round. Koshia hates homeless beards. Mika says size absolutely does matter. Koshia loves a chocolate man with muscles and no chicken legs. And April said, if you're not manscaping, I'm not going below the belt, period. By the end, Dominique and LaRon were tied for the final question. So Tommy goes, which one of these ladies got flued out by a celebrity and just spent the day waiting in the car while that celebrity got a facial? The answer was Mika. I immediately knew it was Mika. I did. First of all, she just gives that flued out energy. I don't know what it is. Probably because she a baddie, y'all, but it just made sense. Yeah, it is because she a baddie. It's because she's the aesthetic. Like, she was very much giving hanging around with Tay and all the girls who wigs he be slaying. Like, she just has that look. Anywho, Dominique wins and he is safe from elimination. Dominique wasn't gonna go home anyway because the ladies love him. Anywho, DeMonte and William did terrible. DeMonte was a little bit too late. Maybe you shouldn't have been talking about yourself so much, okay? And William is trying to make up for lost time. He takes Alexis for a chat. There is no chemistry. She said he ain't got no facial hair. I can't take him seriously. Alexis also gets William to share that he has 3 kids and 2 baby mamas. So she's like, that's a bit much for me. God bless. And I'm not mad at her. Anywho, Lil Will and Koshia are chatting, and Koshia shares that she got married in 2018, and it wasn't until shortly after her marriage that she found out that her husband already had 4 kids. And I'm flabbergasted, and so is Lil Will, because he's like, ma'am, was the dick that good? And Coco felt disrespected by this. Yes, we're on a nickname basis. Her name is Coco, okay? She felt disrespected by this. And I get her point, but at the same time, baby, I'm with Will. I don't know. That's just, I don't find that very plausible, especially as a grown lady. Like, you were either rushing, y'all were rushing and moving too fast, or you were ignoring some red flags. Like, there was some vetting that still needed to be done. But, you know, we all make mistakes. We all fall into things that we don't necessarily want to be in. I don't want to shame her. It sounds like there was some due diligence that was not did. Okay. Anywho, she tells Will that that's presumptuous, and, you know, he shouldn't basically talk to her like that. And he's like, you know what? I'm sorry, but let me go ahead and get your phone number so we can stay in touch. What? Huh? What's happening? Yo, the social cues, like just the ability to read a room, is not in the room with us. She gives him her Instagram, and he said, fine, I will take what I can get. Next, Mika and Dominique are walking through the forest preserve on the estate. And Mika asks him if he believes in sex before marriage, and he's basically like, yeah, I'm with it. Like, do you know anybody who is not? And she was like, no. And it's just like, this was weird. Like, Mika, are you horny? Are you okay? She asks him, you know, what he likes, and Dominique says that he likes a woman who is open-minded, who is nurturing, because essentially he's a provider. And Mika is into that. Mika is into him, and she gives him his number. What? She gives her his number. It's been a long day, y'all. Anywho, DeMonte and April are meeting up across the yard, and DeMonte is explaining that he lives in a small apartment because he's still working on getting his finances together. He has a lot of debt, and he's trying to fix his credit, and April is throwing up in her mouth, right? She is flabbergasted because, again, DeMonte is 42 years old. And she said, baby, at this point, I'm not working with potential. I expect you to have some things taken care of. So April crosses DeMonte off of her list, and we swiftly move on to Koshia and William. So right across the way, they're kind of having the same conversation. Koshia says, okay, so you're a comedian. Like, what's your goal with that? And he's like, oh, you know, I want to create a legacy, like something for my grandkids, and I want to be respected. I want people to respect me in a game. And, you know, it's just giving very broad, abstract, and loose. And I love Koshia because she clocked his tea. She said, okay, well, what are your plans? Like, what do you have set in place? My man start talking about opening up a gun store. Huh? He said, well, you know, I want to make a gun store to help black women learn self-defense. Well, I have whiplash. We were just talking about comedy. Well, Koshia, being her gracious self, was like, okay, like what plans do you have set for that? He said, well, my homie owns a gun store. Y'all, I'm triggered. I'm triggered. I think that black women in particular, because of our history in this country, have become extremely ambitious and successful in career pursuits. I think that there is a disproportionate number of men who also date black women who have equal standing and are equally yoked. And I am dragging my own self in this conversation to, my dear, don't worry. I've been there. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Anywho, I will be writing in my journal about this later. Let's get back to the show. Women and Tommy meet up for the eliminations. This is the makeshift ladies lounge. William is already insecure and afraid. He's like, child, I know these ladies don't like me. I'm going home. Tommy asks the women who are their standouts. April likes Dominique because he is attentive. Mika likes Dominique because he is gentle and calming. Alexis likes Will, even though she can see that he's kind of a player. And Koshia likes Laron because he was willing to open up when she challenged him. Again, must have been off camera. Anyway, the men are gathering by themselves and also kind of going over who their favorites are. Lil Will likes Alexis. He also says to be determined. William likes April and Alexis. And I guess DeMonte starts getting bored, baby, because he said, well, who is y'all physical preference? By the way, y'all, that's very coded language. That's coded language, aka barbershop talk, but we're in public for did you see that ass? Okay. Did y'all see what I saw? Okay, so everybody starts talking about Mika and how blessed she is. Again, body yada 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 yada. That should be her theme song. Anyway, we flip back over to the ladies, and now we're talking about who the ladies don't like. Alexis and Mika were not attracted to Laron. They say that he is too party focused and, you know, just ready to have a good time. Koshia and Mika both say that Will was entitled and thirsty and very touchy with them. And y'all, that really did get me thinking, because none of the other ladies, who all happened to be more petite, had that complaint about Will. And it makes me think about what women go through, women who are curvy, what they go through in terms of being like fetishized and sexualized. Like, why do you think that you can touch me? That's what Koshia said. Like, why are you touching me? And I hate when men have done so little to explore themselves and create their own sense of like conscious reasoning and maturation and self-discipline, that they're still being led by their biology. Like, you are no better than an animal if you can't control yourself when you see a boob, my guy. Anyway, that got me a little mad at Lil Will. I can't lie, but you know, Mika also is sharing that she doesn't like William because he comes across as like goofy. He can't turn off the comedy, and April agrees. She says she can't take him seriously. Alexis agrees also and just adds on she adds on that William can't dress and he was wearing gym shoes, and she did not appreciate that. Alexis also found DeMonte to be too self-centered. So with that, the ladies are ready to send whoever they send at home. They all go outside, and long story short, DeMonte and Will end up in the bottom two. I'm sorry, not Will, William. Okay, the Teletubby. They end up in the bottom two, and DeMonte is the one who gets sent home. And in his confessional, he is shocked because he has so much sorry, I can't even say it. He says, with all I have going for myself. What? Oh my God. Oh, you can tell when a man is just calculating his success in likes and notoriety and fame and not in what is real and what really matters. But go off, king. I love that for you. Stay confident. Anyway, the remaining 8 singles are told that they will meet the other singles tomorrow at the brunch. So I'm really excited for this season. Like I mentioned, it seems like a good time. And yeah, I'll be reviewing more each week. This was a long review, but that's because I did the introductions at the beginning. The next one should be shorter. I'm trying to keep it under like 20-25 minutes. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, do all that other stuff, and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. If you want more reviews, like if you want me to review different shows, let me know. And until then, I'll see y'all next time.